Alright, welcome back EDP students. In this video we're going to look at for loops. So this is one that most people when starting off struggle with, and it will take some practice to get used to. So what we're going to see here is a bit more complex of flow diagram, and this highlighted blue part, so with the dotted lines, is what makes up our for loop and how it works. And it's got three parts: the initialization, the condition, and the update. So what happens with the for loop is we have some other code and then we come into our for loop and it will do some initialization first and only once. It will then check a condition, and if that condition is true, then it will do code A, similar to how our code worked with our while loop. But before it checks the condition again, it does some sort of update and then checks the condition. So it will then check the condition again, if true, does code A, and then does the update again. You can see that it doesn't do the initialization again, however. Then if the condition is false, it will just continue with whatever code is below. So let's have a look at the code. So a for loop looks something like this. So we have our for, we have our brackets, and we have our braces once again, but you can see that there's semicolons. So the initialization part happens here before this semicolon, then we have the condition which happens before this semicolon, and then we have our update which happens after this semicolon. We then, inside of our brace, we have whatever code is going to be looped, and then outside, after, we have some other code. So, to make sense of this, we're going to look at an example. So we've got our for loop, and what I'm going to add here is a couple of things. So I've declared some variables, and I've initialized 1 to 2. And I've got this variable called I, which I haven't given an initial value. You'll notice in the for loop, my initialization is I becomes 0. In my condition, I've got I less than 2. And in my update, I've got I++. Inside of my braces, I've got x becomes x plus I times 2. So let's have a look at this working. So to start with, we've got our initialization of x, which is 2. This is above our for loop, so this is the code that's above. We then go down a line and we create this variable called I. We declare I. Now we don't know what value it is yet, so we can't say. We then get to our for loop, and the first thing that happens is our initialization. Okay, so this is our initialization here. So our initialization sets I to 0. The next step, we follow this flow diagram, we check our condition. So we go across to our condition and say, is I less than 2? Well, it is, so that's true. So now, we follow this flow diagram and we go and do some code. So we're down here. Now here we've got x becomes x plus I times 2. I times 2, so 0 times 2 is 0. So 2 plus 0 is 2, so x doesn't change. We then, following our flow diagram, go up to our update. So we go here, and we increment I by 1. So now I is 1. We then follow our flow diagram, and from the update, we go back to our condition. And we check, is I less than 2? Yes, it is. It's true. So we need to go back to our code within our braces. And here we've got x becomes x plus I times 2. Now 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 2, remember x was 2 beforehand, gives us 4. And so we store 4 in our x variable. We then need to go back to our update, and we increment I by 1, giving us 2. After our update, we check our condition. is I less than 2? No, it's not. So it's false, and so we go outside of our for loop and outside of the braces. Alright, thank you very much, and that's it.